blast yours a little bit. Let's see. I just got... Let's see here. Alright, so we only have stuff coming through the Spotify channel right now. Hopefully that is how things are supposed to be. You guys tell me how loud everything is, how we're doing in terms of volume here. Bring my mic a little bit closer. Music a bit too loud. Still that way, or are we doing a little better now? My mic is a little quiet, honestly. Okay. Turn this up a little bit. Beautiful afternoon to you as well, Michael. Michael 120. Alright, 1 minute. Mio's going to get his headphones. Or their headphones. So, for those of you in chat who don't know what this is, you may have seen Gibby put up a video on the Spooky Shack, but I think it was last week or the week before. Not the week before. But recently, where he basically read through what I'm going to read through, which is a Return to the Pit fan novel, basically. And so this is written by Candi Bunny, who I'm sure all of you are familiar with. And in the same way that I did a week prior for the reboot, at the same time as I was writing that, Candi was writing Return to the Pit. And if I remember correctly, she actually started writing hers before me. And I was inspired to sort of to look at this idea because of what she was doing. So if you like a week prior, you can thank Candi Bunny for the Return to the Pit. I have read a bit of this a while ago. She gave me a copy a while back, I think when she was finished an earlier draft, and I got to a certain point in the book, and then I got busy and I never got a chance to finish it. So I was watching Gibby's video going over this. The link to that is in the description of this stream, by the way. And when I started watching his video, I was like, oh wait, no, I want to read this because I have access now to the full, finished version that she's got on her community posts page. So if you go to her channel, you can check in the posts, and you can see the links to this here. So I'm gonna wait a little moment. I'm gonna see if anyone has any questions or anything like that, and then I think I'll start making my way through this book. But how's everyone doing? Are we all doing well? Having a good evening? Thanks very much, Capsule Gamer. FNAF 3 rebooted, still in the works, but I'm very excited to eventually get that out to you, because I really do enjoy the reboot stuff. Currently working on the actual game based on Anniversary. Roblog asks, will it be free? For the time being, it can only be free because it's a fan game, and you can't license fan games. That's not to say if somehow we did get the ability to license it that we wouldn't, because there's been a lot of work put into it, a lot of time and effort. But the main thing is we're enjoying putting it together and getting it out to everyone, and having everyone get a chance to see all our hard work. Obviously, there's other work going on the reboot as well as that, but that's been the kind of main focus of my life now for a while, now that I think about it. So interactive novel means alternate endings. So yeah, this is in the same way as the official, like The Week Before, or Escape the Pizzaplex, or Return to the Pit. This basically is a fan version of that, right? So Candi Bunny has written her own full choose your own adventure book. It's 214 pages, which is crazy. That might be longer than The Week Before. And we're obviously not going to get to all the endings. We're not going to be able to play through this book multiple times, but I definitely want to go through, maybe get some chat decisions going, see where we can go in this story, because like I said, I've read a bit of it, I've listened to Gibby read a little bit of it, and I'm just very excited to get into it. Let me see. Fazbear's Fright was always one of the most undercooked idea of the original trilogy, so I hope the rebooted dives more so into the horror attraction aspect of it. I'm sorry to say, and I've said this on other streams, so I'll say it here, my FNAF 3 reboot won't take place in Fazbear's Fright. That's not to say I don't have an idea for Fazbear's Fright and what I want to do with it, and I do want to give it that reboot, treatment, but it won't be for the FNAF 3 video. So, keep your expectations, but for a future time. Let me see. Have you ever seen that Fazbear's Folly fan film? It's a good question. Let me look it up. Fazbear's Folly. Oh, I think I've seen bits and pieces of this. I haven't actually sat down and watched the whole thing. It's an idea actually that I was kind of disappointed that somebody got to it, because that was an idea I had a while ago that I wanted to make something along those lines, and I still could, obviously, but I really like the idea of making a documentary about something in the FNAF universe. I think it's a really good idea, so I'll have to check it out. Let me see. Will I send my game to YouTubers? Definitely, 100%. I mean, obviously it's up to everyone who wants to play it, and if they have any interest, but yeah, I would love for people to play it and get reactions to it, and live testing. Let me see. When do you think we could see a full release of a week prior? So I've been considering this, especially in the lead up to this stream, because I want to put a week prior out there, and in the way that Candy Bunny has, where it's like readable and you can just get it. I want to be able to do that for a week prior, but I want to go back through it and touch up the bits that I've kind of already made, and I also want to make more of it. I think the best way I can see putting it out is in chapters, individual chapters, because what was intended to be the prologue, which is what I started writing, ended up being its own interactive novel in itself. It's like about 100 and something 180 pages or something like that, if I remember correctly. And so I was like, well, this is now its own book. It's not just, oh, this is the first chapter of this other book. So what I probably do is touch up that one, put it out, and then write a new chapter and put that out at the same time. And I have ideas as to how I want to continue the story and how I want to go into chapter 1, technically. But obviously it takes a lot of time to write one of these. So also big ups to Candy Bunny for having also sat down and done this. I know it takes a lot of effort, and she's written more than I have, and so I'm really curious to see what kind of things she's played with in the format and everything, because I had some ideas when I was writing mine of like, oh, I want to create like a kind of new mechanic with the tally system, and playing with the inventory and stuff like that. So I'm curious if she's done anything like that, or within the writing itself, within the prose. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of references and Easter eggs and stuff like that for us to find. Let me see. Would I change FNAF 4 in my new timeline? It's going to be different. I'll say that. So yes. Will Springtrap be the same like in FNAF 3, or will you create a new model for him? I actually don't create any of the models that I use in those videos. Like I do for props and stuff like that, but not for the characters. All the characters are community sourced. So Springtrap will be whatever the best model of Springtrap is that I can find that I like, and I have one in mind already. But he'll look pretty much like Springtrap from FNAF 3, even if he's not 100% accurate. FNAF 4 Fazbear Frights, thank you very much. Dryer Soda. I really can't say. Really can't say. The Moody Astronaut 7815. Which FNAF novels are actually worth picking up? Sorry, I missed your super chat there. Which FNAF novels are actually worth picking up? The Silver Eyes, I think, is quite solid. I really like The Week Before. I think The Week Before is solid. What else? I think there's a lot in Tales and Frights. I wouldn't, like, off the top of my head be like, oh yeah, you gotta pick up this one, you gotta pick up that one. But I think Silver Eyes and The Week Before are just like two good entries in the series to get you into the novel format as well, because the other one are short stories. So I might say like, oh, that short story is really good, but that one I'm not a fan of. I'd have to think about, rather than isolation, I'd have to think about them as actual books that you'd buy with 3 stories in them. Which of them would be the best, like, bang for your buck? I'm sure Gibby would have a strong opinion on that. Let me see. All right, I think we got enough people in here. Let's give it a go. Let's get into this. So type 14s in the chat, please, for Return to the Pit, which is subtitled "Don't Get Hit by a Car." For those of you who don't remember Return to the Pit, which was the interactive version of Into the Pit, there were a lot of endings where you could get run over by Spring Bonnie driving a car. And from what I understand, Candy Bunny started writing this as a joke, as like a parody, which was going to be that every ending led to Oswald dying when he got hit by a car, but then it just evolved and she started to actually kind of flesh out the story a bit. So I guess we can let her tell us about it herself. What if Return to the Pit was fun to play and read? What if every ending in Game Over was actually unique? What if Oswald still read manga? So that was something, I believe, in Return to the Pit that was changed from the other versions, was that Oswald read manga, or didn't read manga in the Escape, or the Return to the Pit. Oh, there's so many Escape to the Pizzaplex, Return to the Week Before, all these interactive novel names. Return to the Pit, a pick your own quest fan fiction. So the classic subtitle or the genre of these books, I guess, is Choose Your Own Adventure, but I think Choose Your Own Adventure is actually copyrighted. So then the FNAF novels call them interactive novels instead of Choose Your Own Adventure books. So they're interactive novels. So this is a pick your own quest fan fiction by Candy Bunny. All right, let's get into it. Part 1, Summer. These bit 1 things, these are like little titles to help you find your way. So I'm going to probably take note of where we are in this, just so we can go back more easily with Control F. Let me see. All right, let's get into it. You know what makes a ghost town cool? A dense fog, a mysterious ambience. A protagonist who made their choices yet was always fated to wind up on this street. A dark shape moving behind the boarded-up window, and a final showdown in an abandoned pool where the killer gets bashed on the head with a baseball bat. You know what doesn't make a ghost town cool? When it's not a horror thriller, when it's real life. And this ghost town, your hometown, is entirely, unfortunately, real. PT Punch, your dad calls, letting one hand go the steering wheel to give your arm a light tap that's supposed to be a punch. That's 5 punches for Dad and only 1 for Oswald. Dad is shaping up to be the punching champ of the summer. Dad, how many times do I have to tell you that a disassembled car doesn't count? You glance at the black PT Cruiser with 2 missing wheels that's parked in the driveway of a dingy white house. The PT Cruiser, and by extension the daily PT Punch, marks the end of the residential zone and the beginning of downtown. The project car used to be covered by a tarp, but now it lies dusty, ugly, and bare, with no protection from the elements. Did the tarp get blown off? Did some thief remove it thinking the car underneath was valuable? Or maybe the owner removed it and started praying for a hailstorm to destroy it so they could collect the insurance. A car disassembled beyond recognition doesn't count, sure, your dad says with a smile, but the wheels don't make a car. So this is an interesting. I noticed it when Gibby did the reaction to this. This seems to be some sort of game in America. Not a thing here. I don't think of like seeing a car and like taking a punch for it, or calling out particular brands of cars or whatever. So this is a cultural reference, I believe, that might be lost on me. But correct me if I'm wrong. Notice how Candy replaced the possum with a destroyed car. With its circle is absolutely correct, because I believe in the classic Into the Pit, the first thing that he sees in the town is this like broken or dead possum on the ground. Nothing more dead than a dead possum, I think, is the original line. So yeah, we replace it with a broken down car because this is a parody book about the car. Let me see. That thing is missing more than wheels. I doubt it even has an engine. At least not one that works, you say. It's like that ship of Theseus problem. How many... Oh, wait, no. Oh, yeah. It's like that ship of Theseus problem. How many pieces do you have to take away until it's no longer a PT cruiser? You frown. You don't think that's how you've heard people refer to the ship of Theseus, but you can't remember ever actually hearing it explained, so you can't contradict your dad. You stay quiet and look out the window, resting your face on your hand. You see the old storefront of the Dollar Tree, the letters that have been stripped off. The letters have been stripped off from the edifice. I keep having the word off. Sorry. The letters have been stripped from the edifice, but you can still clearly see the outline of where they used to be because it's the only part of the siding that's clean. How dead does a town have to be for the Dollar Tree to close? A store closing doesn't necessarily reflect on the town, Dad began. It could mean the franchise owner It was a rhetorical question, Dad. You place too much sarcastic emphasis on the final word and top it all off with an eye roll. Besides, even if that's not why it closed, it's why everything else in this town did. You glance up at your dad to see if he caught your eye roll, and you meet his eyes in the rearview mirror. He doesn't look like he's about to tell you off. His eyebrows are curled up with a concerned look. Is he worried about you? Worried about the town? Maybe worried about his job? You look back out the window again and let out an audible sigh. Something wrong, bud? All right, our first decision. I just saw someone type piss car. What does that mean? Oh, because it's yellow. Isn't it yellow? This. Sorry, that threw me off. Let me see. It's not currently possible to access the week prior, but you can watch Gibby read it on his channel. Kidney stone car. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do something crazy right now. First choice of the game. Do we A, tell Dad what's on our mind, or brush it off? Let's see. You decide, chat. You decide. I'm gonna start the poll. You can vote on what we're gonna do in the book as we go. Okay, we're getting a split. I'm seeing mostly tell Dad, 72% tell Dad, 69%, 71%. It's kind of staying around 29, 30-ish. Oh, we're fluctuating a lot. 75, 25. All right, I think it's a tell Dad. Let's tell Dad. Tell Dad it's on our minds. We're on page 3. It's just, we used to get cheap funny things for our family nights from that Dollar Tree. And before that, we used to sometimes go to the movie theater. And before that, we used to go out to eat. Feels like our family nights are getting cheaper and repetitive and boring, just like this town. You're surprised you've said it so much already, but the words keep flowing. I know it's terrible to say because others have it worse, even in this town, but it just feels like everything that I used to enjoy is gone, and it's not old enough, and I'm not old enough to get a job or a car or do anything about it. You don't look at the rearview mirror, but you can just sense your dad's eyes on you. You hope he isn't so upset that you're complaining about money. It's not a terrible thing to say, bud. Just because we're not homeless or starving doesn't mean we can't miss the good things we've lost. Heck, I miss my job at the mill. I can't believe I ever complained about it. I miss Ben, you're surprised to hear yourself say. It feels so weird to say to your dad, but honestly it feels a little good to let him know how unhappy you are. Who can blame you? You two were inseparable. It's true. Ben used to be your best friend. You hung out almost every day until he moved away. Your dad continues. It's going to be all right, though. It's really looking like I'm up for a promotion at the deli, and hey, maybe a new friend will move to town. Maybe, you say, but you know they won't. No one knew is ever moving to this dead town. So this is interesting, because in the original, and I think the game, maybe, not the original, sorry, the interactive and the game, the girl Gabrielle moves to town, right? And in Escape, no, not Escape, in Return to the Pit, the interactive novel, it turns out that, oh no, it's in the original as well. Gabriella. Yeah, in the original as well, because it's like the you know, like she has like a legend or something that Oz gains inspiration for. But we find out in the original interactive novel that she is the daughter of Chip, who's one of the characters that Oswald becomes friends with in the past. So we're setting that up. No one's going to move to town, except maybe they will. Except maybe that's just in the pit. Speaking of that old Dollar Tree, I got something to show you, Dad says with a smile. What is it? Hold on, I'll get it out when we stop. Sorry, I just seen it down here. You roll up to the library and Dad pops the trunk. Check this out. The back of the car is filled with random supplies for camping and quick fixes. Jumper cables, gloves, a blanket. Out from behind it all, he pulls something cheap, plastic, and totally perfect. A bootleg Mechazendrelix toy with a flashlight in its mouth. When you turn it on, the toy opens its mouth and roars. The thing is undoubtedly for little children, which makes it all the more funny. Where did you find this? You asked. At the dollar store before it closed. Made me laugh and I was waiting for the right moment to bust it out. This was definitely the right moment. You feel just a little better. Add the toy flashlight to your inventory. We got something from the inventory. Ooh, let's go. So these little ASCII arts were what inspired me to put my ASCII arts in a week prior, except Candi actually went to the trouble of making the ASCII art, whereas I just was lazy and I was like, image to ASCII generator. So this is by hand ASCII art. So again, Candi putting in that attention to detail. So let us, for the first time, mark off something in our inventory. We have toy flashlight. Okay, sweet. Imagine its batteries die the first time we use it. So, the public library isn't horrible. It has a nice few windowed spots. You grab the manga you've been devouring. He reads manga. Manga? Manga? I don't know how to say it correctly. Manga? You've been devouring and sit in the same corner you always do. You finish in less than an hour and go to check for the next, but they don't have it. You request it, but it could be up to 2 weeks until they get it in. Darn! All the computers are taken, like always. You whip out your pencil and notebook and start drawing distractedly, keeping one eye on the computers for when a spot opens. Recently, you've been doodling these mechanical animals in goofy scenarios. You've always been good at drawing animals. That's what got you the nickname Oswald the Ocelot at school. Stupid Dylan. It wasn't even an ocelot you were drawing. It was a serval, those wild cats that look like a mix between a cheetah and a fennec fox. But pointing that out definitely didn't help your case when Dylan and his friends were laughing at you. You learned your lesson then. Don't share animal facts with a bully. In fact, don't share facts about anything with a bully. This is interesting because we have Oswald drawing the, I think I'll just read this next bit and then we can talk about it. You've always been good at drawing animals, but this mecha you've been reading has got you blending animals and robots to create some pretty cool designs. You want to draw them in crazy fighting poses, but it's really hard to get the perspective right, so you mostly just draw them standing around stiffly. Eventually you turn... Okay, so this is really interesting, because in the original books, Oswald always does seem to... I made the exact same mistakes as Gibby. This is interesting, because in all the other versions of Into the Pit, we'll say, Oswald does draw the characters in advance of going to Freddy's, which I've not seen a good explanation for other than the field ? Or some people say like pit loop or whatever. I'm not a huge fan of pit loop, but it's interesting because it pre-establishes Oswald. He's sort of fated to go to Freddy's, because I don't think other characters are... Like, I don't think there's other kids in town who are drawing Freddy's. Maybe there is. I don't know. But it seems to be something that, like, oh, Oswald's picking up something from the field. So I wonder, is Candi going with that? Or is this more so, like, foreshadowing? Because he likes mecha. He's good at drawing animals. And so he ends up drawing these. But this is more like the book foreshadowing something rather than Oswald's been drawing these crazy things. He doesn't even know why. Like, here we have a good reason. So this might be Candi doing a little bit of authorial, cleaning up, or we could get a more in-depth explanation later. The field. Let me see. Eventually, you turn on the computer. Your turn on the computer comes, and you feel inspired to look up some drawing guides to work on those cool poses. You want to print some out so you don't have to draw at the computer, but you don't have any change to pay the 10-cent fee for printing. Well, you have your Jeff Pizza money, but there's no way you're giving up either the cheesy slice or Dr. Pepper you always order. Speaking of Jeff's, you're getting hungry. Maybe it's time to log off. Then we have a jump forward. Jeff's pizza is weird and honestly kind of gross looking. The thin yellow paint barely covers up whatever old mural used to be underneath. A weird unused stage takes up most of the farthest wall from the door, and the artificial lights make everything a sickly yellowish green. The whole place is very yellow. Moo, like a certain rabbit. The pizza is yellow too, but it's easy on the eyes, unlike the rest of the building. Easy on the eyes and easy on the stomach. You devour the slice and wish with all your might that you could find some extra money in a drain pipe like Charlie from the Whirly Co. Chocolate Mill story and use it to buy an extra few slices. I don't want to just go over all the points that I noticed Gibby, go over in the few minutes of his that I did watch, but this is Candi making fun of the fact that in the original story they had all these like silly names for, real life movies, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is Charlie and the Whirly Co. Chocolate Mill. I like Whirly Co. Chocolate Mill. I don't know what that is about that I like. I just particularly like that name. But anyway, pizza gone. You now have 3 whole hours left to burn at Jeff's. You should really tell your dad to pick you up from the library tomorrow. Whoa, Ollie the Cat sent 10 Unwithered Truth gift memberships. That's so nice. Thank you very much, Ollie the Cat. Everybody enjoy your memberships. Thank Ollie the Cat. Thank you very much. Ollie the Cat, Oswald the Ocelot. Everything's going on well. Let me see. You should really tell your dad to pick you up from the library tomorrow. That way you can walk back after lunch and don't have to spend so much time under these ugly lights and in this boring room. There is one more interesting thing left to look at. There's one interesting thing to look at Jeff's. A dingy old ball pit in the corner of the dining area. Whatever this place was before Jeff's, it must have been for kids. Is that another? Oh, this is Withered Circle. Welcome to the Withered Zealot. Thank you very much, Withered Circle. Hell yeah. Let me see. You wonder, not for the first time, why on earth Jeff never got rid of it. Maybe he meant to clean it up and use it to attract families with younger kids, but ever since you can remember, it had that old out-of-bounds sign hanging over the entrance. Over the quiet music in the restaurant, your phone rings and your stomach drops. It's Dad. You know what this means. There's only one reason why he'd call during his shift. He's picking you up late. That's the real cost of his supposed upcoming promotion. He works extra hours more often than not and leaves you stranded at Jeff's. It's not fair that you're too young to drive and have nowhere to go all day. Maybe, just maybe, if you don't answer, he won't accept the extra hours and will pick you up on time. If you ignore the call, tap touch here. If you answer the phone, tap touch here. All right, let's put it to a vote. We got to go again. We'll put a poll. Do we answer or do we ignore or answer? Choice 2. I really like the way Candi is characterizing Oswald, even in the short time that we have it, because I found the original Return to the Pit interactive novel was... I remember thinking that Oswald was like way more of a brat than I remembered from the other versions. Like, I think the one in the game and the one in the original story, I think every time he got a little bit more, teenagery, classic, rebellious teenagery or troubled teenagery. It's not a word, teenager. But in this, we've got like a very real struggle for Oswald, and he's also not being a total dick. We'll see if it evolves into that in the future, but he seems to be a more reasonable, like, he's not just trying to teach his dad a lesson. Oh, I'll teach him to take more time. He really doesn't want to spend his whole day here. Someone asked earlier what the best Frights book is. Thank you, Gibby. I did say you might have an opinion on this. Blackbird has 2 of the best stories, but also a mid one. But Into the Pit has 3 good stories and is probably the best on average. That is fair. Yeah, the 3 ones in Into the Pit are good. All right, let's answer the phone. We got a 75-25. You know what? I'm just going to say if it hits a 75 split, then we're just cutting it off there. So, answer the phone. Let's do it. Funny because it's the first Frights book made. Yeah, because it was all downhill. Hi, Dad. Before he even gets the chance to ask anything, you make sure to ask in a disappointed tone. Staying late again. See, again, it's like it's manipulative, but he's not doing it because he dislikes his dad or he's trying to teach his dad a lesson. He's trying to, have a bit more control in the situation that he's not happy in. Hey Oswald, yeah, they've asked if I can stay until 7. 7? That's the latest he'd ever stayed. The latest he'd ever stayed before was 6. That's past dinner time. I'm gonna starve here. Only 30 minutes later, and this overtime will really help. Yeah, with the promotion. You cut him off. I know that's a lot of extra time for you to just be hanging around. If you want, I can see if your mom can step away for a few moments to bring you home quick. Dad tries to sound sympathetic, but it's a trick question. Like when people ask if they look good or how your day was. You can't say no. That would just be plain heartless. You can't ask your mom to dip out quick from working at the hospital. Not unless it's a really serious emergency. Again, Oz, he's annoyed for him to even, ask it in this way. But he's also considerate enough of the mom and of her job to be like, well, yeah, I can't call her out. And I also like when we have younger characters, making observations about people in general or about the way people communicate. And I know obviously every character is going to, use simile or metaphor or stuff like that to compare how someone is talking to communicate to the audience. But I particularly like it when younger characters are making comments on what they've observed, because he's at that age. Like, what is he now? 12, 13? Is that what age Oswald is? He's kind of at that age where he's starting to get a grip on people. Being like, yeah, when people ask if they look good or how their day was, you're not supposed to, it's not a real question. It's rhetorical. And he even brings up rhetorical questions earlier. So, good characterization. Let me see. This is cool, but it'd be cooler if there were cooler people in chat. Shake my head. Gibby has high standards. I don't know why he's been what he's expected. You guys are great. Let me see. Oswald has been redeemed. You can't say no to your dad. You can't ask mom to grab you. There's no winning. I'll be fine, Dad, you say, but you're angry and it seeps into your tone. Again, not intentionally. If your dad notices, he doesn't comment on it. Thanks, Oswald. I'll see you at 7. You hang up and immediately think, why didn't I just tell him to pick me up from the library? But there's no way you're calling him back now. You feel hot. It's unfair. He's the last person you want to talk to right now. You settle yourself and try to recall the poses you looked up as you fill the pages of your notebook. The whole side of your hand is turning shiny from running your hand over pencil shavings. As 4 o'clock approaches, the normal hour your dad gets off, the anger starts to flare up again. Anger, or is it hunger? You have 3 hours to go. Hey kid, Jeff calls, leaning a little over the counter. I made a full pizza for the lunch crowd, but it's going to go stale by the time the dinner rush comes. Want a few extra slices? I don't know what accent I'm doing for Jeff. That just took over me. He's a pizza guy, I guess. There's a dinner rush here? You've never seen this place even half full of people. Sorry, I don't have any more money. You wish you did. Your stomach rumbles. Hey, it's on the house. Shame to let it go to waste. Jeff walks over and plops 2 pieces of pepperoni down in front of you. Wow, thanks. You pop up to refill your Dr. Pepper. Free refills. Free refills at Jeff's. That's nice. We don't have free refills here at all. So I envy Oswald that. At least you can fill up his Dr. Pepper. Though I am not a fan of Dr. Pepper. And Oswald likes orange drinks, doesn't he? He likes Fanta. I also like this exchange. The dinner rush thing. Because this is also like a good POV thing for Oswald, right? I think here Jeff is making up the dinner rush thing, right? He's just trying to be nice. He wants to help out Oz. He's gonna give him these slices, right? And Oz, being a little bit naive, doesn't catch that. There's a dinner rush? You've never seen this place half full. And then, oh, I don't have any more money. And then Jeff, gives it to him for free. I just think it's a cute little exchange. And I like that Oz doesn't pick up on it. Because I think that's quite good for a younger character. $10 from Dryer Soda. Thank you very much. Last stream you said that you think the puppet is Cassidy was debunked by the second movie. Does this mean the second part for the God Victim video is cancelled? No, the puppet is Cassidy the second part of the God Victim video, is not about Cassidy Puppet. And I made the God Victim Part 1 video anyway after the movie came out, so I was already... At that point, I was already of the mind that the Cassidy thing was debunked, so I wouldn't have made the video about that. But no, my second part of my God Victim video, or the kind of follow-up about Cassidy, is not a Cassidy Puppet video. But thank you very much for the donation. Let's see. As 4 o'clock approaches, the normal hour your dad gets off, the anger starts to flare up again. Anger, or is it hunger? 3 hours to go. I'm just rereading this whole bit again. Wow, thanks. You pop up to refill your Dr. Pepper. PP Sandwich, member for 9 months. Thank you. Hey, just got here. Time to watch at 2 times speed. Amazing. I'll see you when you catch up. Your anger has waxed and waned ever since your call with Dad. But the last hour feels so long that your anger hits an all-time high. Your hand has started to cramp, so you had to stop drawing. You tried texting your best friend Ben, but he hasn't responded. So now you're leaning back in the chair, just staring at the ceiling with nothing to do but let your wrath stew. This is so boring. Why can't anything ever interesting ever happen in your life? You check your phone. 6:03. Everyone else moves away from this place onto better things and places. Ben moved to a beach, all your classmates are off at vacation or camp or something exciting, but you're living at Jeff's Pizza like it's your full-time job. You swear it's been at least 15 minutes since you last checked the time. 6:07. Ugh. I like stuff like this, you know. This is fun prose for me. I just like the kind of internal monologue. I think second person is great for this, you know. The second person being like, you this, you that, you the other. I just think it's very interesting tense to write in. So you can tell the audience something like an objective statement about your thought process and then reveal something that is unsubjective. Or no. Yeah, you can give it a subjective thought and then an objective, you know, view of the world and then get the reaction. I think that's really fun. That's it. You can't sit here 1 minute longer. You've got to find something to do. Jeff doesn't seem to be at the counter or in the kitchen. Maybe he's doing something in the back? Your eyes fall on that gross old ball pit. Man, that thing is really gross. But the only remotely interesting thing in this whole building besides maybe Jeff, although Jeff doesn't really seem to be all that interesting. If you inspect the ball pit, if you call to Jeff, let's see. All right, so do we... It's not a Q&A, it's a poll. We go into the pit, or sorry, just inspect the pit, or call for Jeff. Choice trois. Let's go. Okay, we're not as split this time. I mean, what if Jeff has an ice pack for our wrist? So true, Mothman Gerald. You're probably swaying the voters by this stage. Don't call for Jeff. He's a bong rip away from unconscious. Useless. Oh, okay. So we've got a little bit of sway. We're gone from like a 65 to a 60. Oh, we're fighting at that 60% mark. Jeff gonna warn us about pink eye or something. We going in. All right. Sorry, Jeff. I'm gonna have to end the poll here. I was a closer split though. That wasn't as clear as the last time. People like Jeff. I like Jeff too. I guess if we want to come back here at some other point, we will. But let's inspect the ball pit. See, there's also like the consideration of like the classic quote unquote version of Into the Pit that we're kind of playing through right now. You know, we haven't yet diverged from the regular path, which I remember in Return to the Pit, the actual, you know, released official novel. That was one of my criticisms, was like, to make the correct choice was always the right choice, or the correct choice was always to just do what the original book did, even if it didn't seem logical as a choice to make. And that sort of made me feel a little bit railroaded. That like the real book is whenever you just do the stuff from the original, which is kind of, and then you have obviously your wild offshoots, but I always felt like the decision making didn't track as much as the week before, which wasn't shackled by all the, the pretense of having 3 other Into the Pit versions. Return to the Pit was like so lame because we know all the right answers, and then Avengers. Yeah, exactly. For people who don't know the Avengers in Return to the Pit, we might meet them in this. I don't know. I really hope so. Hello, Ben 10 Screams. Welcome to the chat. Love a good pit. Absolutely. Let's go spelunking slash, and I think that's just the pronunciation for spelunking. Spelunking slash and then spelunking. Let's see. Jeff never has much to say, and besides, you don't see him behind the counter in the kitchen at the moment. You slip off your chair and creep toward the ball pit. You catch yourself walking on tiptoes and holding your breath as you approach. Why am I being so sneaky? It's not like I'll get in trouble for just looking at it, you ask yourself. But you're not exactly creeping to keep Jeff from hearing. For some reason, you feel like you don't want to disturb the ball pit itself, like it's some sort of powerful artifact that lies in slumber, and your presence could wake it. Which it is. Pretty much, I think. Ooh. Sorry, spoilers, I guess. You stand a respectful foot away and get up on tiptoes to peer over the edge of the rectangular pen. It's filled with red, blue, and green plastic balls that were once brightly colored, but are now worn and dusty. Gross. What was this place before it was Jeff's, you wonder? More importantly, when was the last time this ball pit was used or cleaned? Your mom's a nurse, so you were never allowed to play at the McDonald's play places because of how unsanitary were. McDonald's is canon? What? Okay, alright, McDonald's is canon in Candy Bunny's FNAF. You can practically hear her saying, "You know what's not fun? Pink eye." But it's so much grosser up close. The dust is thick, the yellow netting around the structure is covered with something brown and suspicious. Ew. Brown and suspicious. Oh dear. You wonder if anything in the ball pit. You wonder if there's anything in the ball pit that was lost many years ago. A missing shoe, a kid's favorite toy. It reminds you of an old couch. If you lift up the cushion, you're bound to find a bunch of coins and pencils and other lost things. For half a second, you wonder if you could get some coins at the bottom for the library printer, but immediately think the better of it. Gross, gross, gross. But then again, if there was any pink eye virus in this pit, it probably died in the 70s. Oh, okay. Are we going to reach in the ball pit for lost items, or are we going to leave this germ fest alone? Okay. Let's say search or germ fest. Choice 4, I think. Okay, we're getting a lot of... Sorry, search the ball pit for lost items is search, and Germfest is leave it alone. Don't. All the choices are going to be in the order that you see them on the screen, just to make it easier. We yearn for the search. Oh, this is really split. 53-47? Oh my gosh. Sorry about that, Gibby. I confused things. Alright, let's search the pit. Let's search it. Let's go in. We don't want super cancer. Well, I hope we don't. I hope we don't get it. Alright, let's find lost items. The worst thing this relic can have inside it is dust, and the best thing it can have is literal money. The risk reward seems pretty clear if you just close your eyes and don't look at how gross it really is. You close your eyes, tilt your face away, and stretch out your arm to reach as far down as you can without having to get in, but you can't feel the bottom. This thing is bigger than it looks. You plunge a little deeper, keeping the disgusting balls away from your face with your other hand. Suddenly you feel something cold and metallic grip you around the wrist and yank you headfirst into the ball pit. Before you have a chance to free your arm or even cry out, whatever pulled you down, let's go. Let's go. You flail your limbs wildly, trying to get a footing on the floor or a hand on the edge of the pit to pull yourself out again. You've got to get out of here, or whatever pulled you down might grab you again. Where's the bottom? You feel like you're sinking further down despite your best efforts, but you still have no foothold. Which way is up? Where are the edges? How big is this pit? It's like a TARDIS, bigger on the inside, you think. Then immediately you're toward, not the time for jokes, Oswald. Your heart is still beating fast, but you've been swimming or drowning more like in this pit for more than a few seconds, and you start to think a little clearer. You cease your flailing and lie still for a moment and feel what way gravity is pulling you to get your bearings. You're not drowning. You can breathe even if it's stuffy. You can get out so long as nothing grabs you again. You put your legs straight down under you, certain you'll hit the bottom. But you don't. You just stretch out into more red, blue, and green balls. That's okay. You reach forward and make a swimming motion to hit one of the edges. And finally, your hand finds the solid edge of the pit. The sides are ribbed, and you can grip the ridges with the ends of your fingertips and pull yourself up. And finally, you pull yourself up and over the edge into free air. Where are we going to be? When are we going to be? Are we going to be in 85? Oh, no. We've diverged. We've diverged. It's awfully dark inside of Jeff's. Did the power go out? Wait, no. You look from side to side. This isn't the seating area of Jeff's. You squint in the darkness, trying to make your sense of your surroundings. The round tables have turned square, and they're lined with chrome-striped party hats. And the large figure slowly moving between two tables definitely isn't Jeff. Jeff doesn't have bunny ears. You are frozen in horror, clinging to the edge of the pulpit as a giant blue, or is it purple, mechanical bunny turns towards you and takes a step. You must have caused quite a commotion flailing around in that pit. Was this the thing that grabbed you? It's regular bunny. Regular bunny. I don't know why I said it like that. You slowly pull your arms back into the pit and sink low, just barely keeping your eyes above the ledge to make sure that thing doesn't get too close. It makes its way right up to the ball pit and pauses. It must see you, if it can see. It looks so much like one of the mechanical animals you drew just today. Have you been transported inside one of your drawings? Okay, so the mechanical animals are indeed the FNAF characters. Okay. I had confirmation from Candi that she'd never been in a ball pit. I'm sure this is really hard to conceptually write, because what does swimming in balls actually feel like? Actually, so true. But she's done a great job. Oh my god. Okay, where are we? Are we in... Oh, is this map 1? Okay. You slowly pull your arms back into the pit and sink low, just barely keeping your eyes above the ledge to make sure that thing doesn't get too close. It makes its way right after it looks so much like the... Yeah. After a few tense moments holding your breath, the bunny begins to saunter off toward the stage, and you breathe a sigh of relief. Your eyes are getting adjusted to the low light of the room. It's not entirely dark. There's dim floor lights illuminating the stairs up the stage, a glowing red exit sign at the opposite end of the room, and a camera in the corner with a red light panning back and forth across the room. Your eyes fall on a mural on the wall that looks oddly familiar. It's hard to tell what it's a mural of in this darkness, but the shapes look just like the one that's painted over at Jeff's. Did you hit your head in the ball pit? Are you in some trippy dream? The giant bluish bunny steps up onto the stage and disappears behind the curtain. You need to get your bearings and figure out where you are, and for heaven's sake, get out of this gross ball pit. But you don't know what will happen if the rabbit sees you. You could swear this place is Jeff's, just with all the wrong decorations. The kitchen and counter and bathrooms and stage and ball pit are all right where they should be, except it seems bigger, with more doors, and it's definitely more retro. 4 options. Okay. I can do 4 options. Okay, so we'll say go to the kitchen, new doors, exit sign, or return to the pit. This is choice 5. All right. Full disclosure, I believe this is one of the parts that I did read back in the day when I had this like kind of the test version of this book. I didn't realize we were still on that path though. So let's see. Kitchen is number 1 by quite a bit actually. I just love that Oswald's dad leaves him at the local murder joint. Very true, pure hydro. Yeah, because later on we find out that he's aware of what Freddy's used to be. Ooh, a split between kitchen and Return to the Pit. Oh, Return to the Pit is taking over. Oh, okay. People don't want to look at FNAF 1 at all. People want to just get back in the pit straight away. Alright, I guess... Oh, kitchen might be rallying. We've got a 28 and a 33. And then new doors... Oh. Return to the Pit is taking over my nightmare scenario, says Gibby. Alright. I'm going to end it here. Return to the Pit. We're returning. We are returning. I'm sure we'll get to come back here later on. Return to the Pit. The whole ordeal is both mind-blowing and cool, but it's also not right. You shouldn't. You can't be here. Either you hit your head in the ball pit and are dreaming, or else you're in a very fantastical scenario. And you know your tropes. Staying any minute longer in this place is the equivalent of signing off on dangerous adventures of all sorts. You might spice up your boring summer. You might tear a hole in the fabric of reality. You might die. That's not the sort of spice you're looking to add. It's time to head home. You're not sure exactly how you're here, but you're certain it has something to do with the ball pit, so it stands to reason it's your way out. You swing yourself back over the edge and try to remember how you were positioned when you got in. You take a deep breath, gross to breathe in the ball pit, and fully submerge yourself. Gross to breath in the ball pit. Sorry. But how long should you stay under? You start to count. 1, 2, 3, 99, 100. I could read all of those for the immersive experience, for the audiobook experience, but let's skip for now. You stand back up and breathe in the familiar, boring air of Jeff's pizza. Also, by the way, 100 seconds is a long time. Like, count to 100 in your head. He's sitting in there for a good while. I don't know why it's 100. Could be, like, I don't know. I always thought this was weird in any of the books. 100 is a long amount of time to be lying in there. Me reading every single It's Me in the week before. I did appreciate when you did that, Gibby. All right, you know what? To prove a point, let's count to 100. Let's just tank retention entirely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 70. No, what? What are we? Yeah, 79, 71, 70, 82, 83. I've lost count. 89, 100. I completely broke the pit. I got so sorry. I saw people reacting to 6, 7. I'm so sorry. All right, I'll start again. 1, no. All right. You stand up and breathe in the familiar pouring air of Jeff's pizza. Oh, we're back. Hey, kid. Hey, kid, what do you think you're doing? Jeff calls. He's at the counter again and looking right at you. Is it better or worse to tell the truth? I was looking for 10 cents. What? I was looking for 10 cents for the library printer. Jeff sighs. Kid, if you need 10 cents that bad, you can take it out of the tip jar. But if you go in that ball pit again, I'm going to get your parents involved. Read the sign. It's out of bounds. That was a weird one. It's out of bounds. Bone solid. Crazy style. Sorry, sir. You say Getting tired, guys. It's getting late. Sorry, sir, you say sheepishly as you slip back into your chair and whip out your sketchbook again. Jeff's words dispel any thoughts you might have had at trying that again. It's just as well. You know what's worse than most boring sum of your life? Getting killed in an alternate dimension. You'll stick with your boring life and try to make the most of your books and your pizza. Every day of your life that you pass by Jeff's Pizza, you wonder about the ball pit. Was it real, or did you hit your head and black out? Or maybe the ball pit was the only thing that was real, and you're still at the bottom of it, dreaming this whole life you think you're living. Ooh, we're at the end. Game over. Oh, we survived. Oh, hello. That is crazy. So, the question is, do we just want to go back to where we were in Freddy's, or do we want to go back to the start of the chapter? Okay, I'm gonna say, back one choice, or restart chapter. Game over. Really short book. Yeah, what the hell? That wasn't 214 pages. Oh, okay. Back one choice seems to be the reigning supreme. And if I remember correctly, aren't those the same thing? Now, restarting the chapter would bring us back to the very beginning of the day. But like, I'll show you what would happen. So we go back here, and then I'd ask again, do we want to, tell Dad what's on our mind, and then we tell him what's on our mind, and then we get the flashlight, and then we go here, and then we answer the phone, and then we inspect the ball pit, and then we reach for a ball, and then we go down here, and now we're back here. So back one choice seems to be the option. So, and I remember kitchen time was the next choice. Candi can't count, though. It's only like 14 pages. Oh, bit 15. Bit William Afton. Bit Toy Chica. You dart across the... So this is... We're going to the kitchen. We're still in Freddy's at nighttime with Bonnie in the dining hall, who just went back up on stage. You dart across the dark room as quiet as you can be and put your hands to what you think is the kitchen door. At least this is the kitchen door at Jeff's. You give the handle a turn. The door creaks loudly as it swings open, revealing a dark kitchen. The sound draws the attention of an enormous animatronic chicken who's facing an open fridge. The light of the fridge illuminates the mechanical monster as its head turns a full 180 degrees to stare right at you. Yes, lovely. You're frozen in place. Run, run, you think to yourself, but you can't get your legs to obey. The chicken turns its body to line up with its head, revealing a large white bib that reads, "Let's eat." In its right hand, it holds a pink cupcake with wide eyes and 2 teeth. As the chicken takes a step in your direction, your knees are finally unlocked, but they don't start running. Instead, they buckle and you fall to the ground in terror. The thing is right in front of you. It's huge, much taller than your dad. Get roasted, Dad. Oh, why did you ever go into that stupid pit? It raises its arms and brings its giant hand down gently on top of your head. Pat, pat. You look up, confused, to see the yellow bird with its head cocked to the side, opening and closing its beak in a sort of smile. It's friendly. A moment later, the bird is back to going about its business, inspecting the kitchen and the contents of the open fridge. Well, that was horrifying and kind of cool. That was... Pat, pat. Oh, cute small bean Chica. It's the duck from the Night 5 phone call. Aww. Good reference. Double woof woof. Why the duck got teeths? All ducks got teeths. That's true. Carlos. 5 Unwithered Truth gifted memberships. Thank you very much. Oh, look at all these people receiving memberships. Gibby, never receiving memberships. W. Carlos, thank you very much. So, do we think... Alright, what are we thinking, guys? Do we think this is like pre-MCI? So they're actually just in like free roam mode? And that's why Bonnie didn't hurt us and Chica didn't hurt us? Or is it because they're the kids' spirits and they don't hurt kids? The only door in the kitchen is the one you came through. As soon as you can move your traitor legs, you head back into the room with the stage and the pit. The bunny is still nowhere to be found. That's interesting when you're reading it from the context of Return to the Pit, because it's also like the yellow bunny is still nowhere to be found in the book. So, new doors, exit sign, a Return to the Pit. I'm curious if this Return to the Pit now is going to be different. If it is, we can always just come back here. But yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna put it up to a poll. If we just end up redoing an option, I'll just take the second most popular one. So, return to the pit, exit sign, new doors. Choice. I forgot what all the choices are, what number we're on, so I'm just going to do choice. New doors, 83%, 73%, 75%. Okay, people seem to be new doors. We're going to the arcade. We gotta be adventurous, chat. Come on. Guys, by the way, make sure to like the stream, because we want to make sure more people get to see this. This is really fun, and I really like that Candi did this. So make sure you tell people. Tell your servers, tell your Discord friends. Alright, it's New Doors. New Doors wins by a landslide. New Doors. This has been the most boring summer of your life, and an adventure has landed right in your lap. You're not going to waste it checking out a bunch of doors you already know. You're going to see where the new doors lead. You tiptoe across the length of the dining room until you come to the first door you know for sure isn't at Jeff's. You put your hand to the handle and give it a quick twist and a shove, and you behold nothing much really. It's just a hallway with some silvery star cutouts and a bunch of drawings hanging on the wall. But on the far end of the room is an open doorway through which a faint light is flickering. You can hear the sound of someone eating chips in that direction. A person! Maybe they could help you understand where or when on Earth you are. Then again, you're pretty sure you're not supposed to be here. Ooh, a security guard. Interesting that there are doors at the end of the hallway. Very interesting. Okay. Are we going to return to the pit? Or... Or are we going to approach the guard? Choice. Approach, it could be Mike. It could be Mike. It could be Mike. It could be Ralph. It could be anybody. It could be one of those two people or someone random we don't know. Okay. It could be Hudson. Yeah, approach the guard is winning, I'm sorry. By a landslide. Approach the room. You stay light on your feet as you approach, a trick you learned thanks to that jerk, Dylan. Well, and also sneak into the kitchen at night to sneak handfuls of chocolate chips. There's a little window into the room next to the door, and you peek your head just over high enough to see in. The light coming from the room is not from a light bulb, but from a monitor displaying a feed of security camera. A man in a purple button-up has his feet on the desk. One hand is deep in a large bag of chips, the other is scrolling through different camera feeds. You recognize the bunny you saw in the main area on one of the cameras. There's also a bear with a top hat you haven't seen, or have you? He looks an awful lot like one of the animal characters you were just drawing today, so another character that Oswald was drawing. He didn't mention that about Chica, which is interesting. The security guard suddenly puts his feet down and sits up alert, flicking through the feed faster. Darn it, Chica, where are you? He mutters before quickly reaching to something on the wall next to him. Ah! A bright light flashes into the window you're looking through, blinding you. What the... you hear the security guard say. He reaches his arm around the open door, grabs you, and sets you down in the office. Who are you, kid? What are you doing here? I'm Oswald, you stammered, blinking hard. Well, Oswald, you shouldn't be sneaking around in here, and I think you know that. We're closed. I'm sorry, I'll leave. You stay right here. I'm calling my manager, he says. He lets go of you and starts punching some numbers in on an old phone on the desk. Where will you go if you get kicked out? You need to get back to Jeff somehow. Maybe the ball pit can take you back? You could make a break for it. Then again, you're not sure you can outrun this grown man. Do as we're told. Go back to the pit. Let's see. Okay. Choice. See, I don't want to give this guy a particular voice because I don't know who it is yet. Okay, do as we're told, do as we're told. I think people want to know who this guy is. I think that's why people want to stick around. It's a grown Oswald. Hashtag time travel. Seems this is post MCI. Money's on Ralph. Actually, you know what? Once this poll, I think we're going to do as we're told. It's just winning out enough. I am going to do another poll. I'm going to say, who do we think this is? Mike, Ralph, and I'm just going to say someone else. Sorry if some of you have seen Gibby's video and you know all this, but you get to watch this with dramatic irony. You get to watch this like, oh, they don't even realize it's actually Capellia. Oh, Mike, 41%. Ralph, 30%. Oh, we're getting... People are going back and forth. It's Hudson for real, for real. Always bet on Mike's minimum wage job. All right, we're getting a 40%. Let's do as we're told. You decide not to make a break for it. You need to get more information to make a decision. The guard dials an old-timey landline phone which seems to ring forever, but eventually someone picks it up and says in a sleepy voice, hello. Hey, Ralph, it's me, the guard says. So Ralph is on the phone, and this guy is someone else. This is interesting. So this is before Ralph is dead, but it must also be before he's taken over as the guard. Hey, Ralph, it's me, the guard says. I've got a kid who snuck in here, and I'm not sure what the protocol is. Are they safe? Heard it all? The guard looks at you. You shake your head no, you're fine. Nah, he seems fine. They didn't do any damage to the animatronics, did they? Ralph asks. I don't think so. Bonnie and Freddy look good, but I haven't seen Chica in a bit. Well, let's figure out how to get these kids, the kid home, and then you should double-check all the locks in the animatronics. Thanks, Ralph. Sorry to wake you. You did the right thing to call. Don't ever hesitate to call if you need me, no matter the hour. Do I need to come and pick up the kid? The guard turns to you. Where do you live, kid? How did you get here? I biked, you blurt out, lying. I live really close. The man on the phone says, then you should be good to just show him to the exit, unless you want to try and call his folks. There's no damage done. But I'm writing down your name, Oswald. If you ever sneak in here again, we're going to be calling your parents. True to his word, the man jots down your name on his notepad as soon as he hangs up the phone. Once he's done, he takes you by the hand and leads you to the front entrance. He rather unceremoniously drops you off at the front door and heads back inside without so much as a get home safe. What was that? What was that? So, we haven't gotten an answer. I just saw something. Okay. Interesting. What sort of weird dimension are you in where a trespassing child is just allowed to bike themselves home at like 1:35 a.m.? No questions asked. No parents called, no incident report filed. The answer can be found on a newspaper stand next to you with newspapers dated April 1984. Bum bum bum. We went into the pit too early. It couldn't have been Mike. There's no way. This is 84. Mike's like 14. He's like 15 right now. Dude, what were they doing in the 80s? You ask yourself. Or maybe it's not the 80s. Maybe it's this place. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza? You read the name from the sign. The question of old-timey security practices soon takes a back seat to a more important question. What now? You've got to find your way back in and see if that ball pit can take you back. Or else try to build a life in 1984. If you abandon your old life and try to make a new one in 1984, first of all, why would you do that? You're literally 10 years old. Second of all, tap touch here. If you try to sneak back into Freddy's, tap touch here. That's really funny. All right. You're literally 10 or sneak back in. These are our choices, people. We gotta make a choice. You're literally 10 is winning by a landslide. I'm gonna take note of our page just in case we need to get back here. That's really funny. All right, you're literally 10. You've dreamt of running away once or twice, as most kids have. There's never been a more convenient time to do it. You've never been faced with such a scary, life-altering decision before, and it sends a thrill down your spine. In an unbelievable lapse of judgment, you begin putting one foot in front of the other. You have no money, no connections to anyone who cares for you in this time period, no cell service, no plan. You pick a direction and walk through the whole night. Where will you go? Maybe you'll walk to Myrtle Beach, where your best friend Ben moved to in the future. Maybe you'll meet him as an adult and become friends again. Or maybe you'll get hit by a car walking the long miles to South Carolina. Who knows? That was funny. All right, worth it. I love chat. I never hate or insult chat in any way. Very cool people, said Gibby. Let's sneak back in. Of course you need to get back to your own time. You love your mom and dad, and though your life is very boring, you suppose it'll get more exciting when you can finally drive. Not to mention, if you stay in 1984, you might create a paradox and cause yourself to never be born. You turn around and give the doors a tug. Locked. They must lock automatically from the outside. You circle the whole length of the building and looking for other doors and windows you could get through. The side of the building has entirely too many metal trash cans, even for a pizzeria. Though there's a back door and some windows, all of them are locked. It looks like you'll have to wait until the place opens in the morning. That's not good at all. Your dad will be at Jeff's in less than an hour. Maybe you can break a window, Midnight Motorist coded, Midnight Motorist Oswald footprints. All right, let's see. Break in. Wait. Choice. That's the second time he said drive Oswald Midnight Motorist. Oh, we're split on the break-in and the wait. I like that we have the option to wait, though, right? You know, like, these are good choices. I like all these points that Candy Bunny is choosing to give us choices, right? Because sometimes in a choose your own adventure kind of thing, you've got too many choices in terms of, like, every 2 seconds you're just being asked to do something and there's very little actual book. It's all just like, go left, then go right, then go up, then go down, and you don't really get much. It's more like just a, you know, kind of a clicking your way through tiny little bits of description and then going on. But this is giving you good amounts of book in between. I know obviously I've stopped on a page that's like half a page long, but I just mean these pressure points that she's delineating and giving us control over, and then what points she's leaving for Oswald or for the narrative to decide, I think are fun. All right, we're breaking in. Let's do it. So we're in 1984 in April. That's when Charlie died in the reboot. You take a moment to find a sharp-looking rock off the ground and approach a window. Here goes nothing, you mutter before swinging the rock down as hard as you can on the glass, but it's not enough to shatter it. You try again and again and again. How are people doing this with their elbows in movies? This must be some thick glass. As you wind up for another swing, something grabs the rock out of your hands and you whip around. It's the Freddy's security guard. Busted. Just what do you think you're doing? I'm calling Ralph. Wait, no, I'm calling the cops. You make it back to the pizzeria all right, but not back to the ball pit. The guard marches you straight to the security office and keeps you there until the police arrive. It's been 3 years since you were off to the past. And today you are finally no longer a ward of the state. You stare at the window as your adoptive parents drive you to your new home in Thebes, Illinois. Okay, you watch the mile markers count out the distance and feel any hope you ever had of getting back to the ball pit and seeing your real parents again die inside you. Damn! Oh my god. It's a busted ending. That's crazy. Alright, let's see what happens if we wait for the place to open. The safest course of action is to wait until the morning. You feel horrible thinking of your parents worried to death about you, but it's only for a few hours. You try to think up an alibi in the meantime. Maybe you got kidnapped? No, then you probably end up lying to the police and launching a whole investigation. Maybe you could say you just blacked out and don't remember? You eventually land on the lie that you offered to help someone outside of Jeff's chase their lost dog and got lost yourself. You shiver and pace back and forth in the parking lot, rehearsing what you'll say. You're exhausted when morning finally comes. After all, it would be the middle of the night for you if you were in your own time. It's like the ball pit jet lag. Ball pit lag. Okay. Ball pit jet lag. Ball pit lag. You wait until a few groups of people have entered the building before walking in yourself. Most of the people who have arrived come holding wrapped presents, so they must be there for a party. The parents can congregate around a table, and all the kids scatter into other rooms, talking about arcades and prizes. You slink toward the empty ball pit and get in, trying to draw as little attention to yourself as possible. You tuck your legs and curl into a cannonball under the sea of plastic. How long do you have to wait? You have no idea. You close your eyes and just start to count. You'll probably make it to 30 before you doze off a little. Nah, man, the owner just said we could check out the ball pit, nothing else. You jolt awake to the sound of a man's voice. You shoot up from the ball pit in a fountain of balls. Whoa! Oh, sorry. Whoa! Call you back, man! An adult with a modern cell phone stares dumbfounded at you. The dining area behind him is empty and dark, with only a row of lights turned on, but it is undoubtedly Jeff's. Yay! We got back. Good job, everybody. Who are you? Where's Jeff? What year is it? You ask wildly. Calm down, little man. Oh my god. Oh my god. I think I know who this is. The dude? The dude? No way. Hey, calm down, little man, the dude says. If you're asking about the owner of the place, he closed up shop to take vacation for a week. I'm just here checking out this ball pit to see if I want to buy it. Well, how on earth would you want to buy this ball pit? You say with some disgust. Why on earth would you want to buy this ball pit? You say with some disgust. You'd already forgotten how dusty it is on this side of the pit. I'm looking for authentic artifact from the old Freddy Fazbear's Pizza that used to be in this very building, he says, nodding like he's listening to music as he speaks. He talks like a character from that movie about surfing penguins. Well, I can assure you this is the authentic Freddy Fazbear's ball pit. You said Jeff's on vacation? Yeah, that's what the owner said when I called him. It's on the sign outside too, but I guess you didn't read it if you snuck in here to play in this ball pit. Yeah, you say, but you're not thinking about what he just said. You're trying to make sense of it all. Jeff wasn't on vacation. He was working today, which means either you messed up the timeline or you're not back at the right time, and you're not sure which is worse. The dude in front of you is so completely unbothered by the fact that you just popped out of this dusty ball pit in front of him. It's uncanny. I think I'll keep this thing in mind, but it doesn't really match the aesthetic we're going for. Thanks, little man. He whips out his phone to resume speaking to whoever was on the other end and walks out the front door to Jeff's, saying something about checking out next door. You are standing all alone, still waist deep in plastic balls in a completely empty Jeff's Pizza. Candi, can we give a round of applause? Can we give a round of applause to Candi in chat? Some 14s. What a great little bit of the book. Phone Dude just showed up and just gave us a little Phone Dude cameo. This is what I wanted from Return to the Pit. This is what I wanted from the interactive novels. That's what I felt like the week before gave us a lot of, you know. Like, you can argue if they're just like key jangly, like fan servicey moments, but you know, this is cool. This is accurate. This is also telling us like how far we must have come out in the future past, you know, Oswald's time. And the second you pick up on who this guy is, we immediately are like, oh no, we've come out in like 2015 or 2023, depending on when this is. But Oswald seems to recognize the cell phone, so it's not that far in the future, but you know, woohoo. So this is cool. And we also know that, yeah, Oswald, in general, his story takes place before FNAF 3. Interesting. All right, run to our home or re-enter the pit. Ooh, there's so many choices. I love this. All right, choice. This is what Scott for real thought he was doing with that Doug cameo in the FNAF 2 movie. Oh no. Run home. Time travel. These are our choices. Yeah, so anyone who's getting a little lost, this is Phone Dude from FNAF 3 who has come to Jeff's to buy old Freddy's merch, right? As he was doing in FNAF 3. He could even potentially be here. Oh no, he says the owner could just check out the ball pit, nothing else. So this is not interesting. So in this version, is Springtrap not in the MCI building? Or is Candi going with the return to the pit explanation that Springtrap is next door in the like closed off part of the pizzeria that we kind of nearly went into earlier where the security office was and stuff? Because there are doors that are in Freddy's which are not in Jeff's. So presumably the safe room might be one of those. Interesting. Oh, we got a 50-50 split. Exactly down the middle. All right, next vote takes it. We got one more vote, people. There's 129 people watching. Let's get another vote. Oh, okay, run home. Run home is the vote. Run home is the vote. If FNAF 3 is 2015, Oswald is like his 20s now. Did we... Phone dude's voice, chef's kiss. Thank you, not a damsel. Yeah, did they say what year it is? I don't remember if they did. Maybe they made a particular reference. Okay. So we are running... Oh, wait. Time travel won. Sorry. Time travel just passed it. All right. Time travel. It must not be the right time. You have to go back in. You'll jump as many times as it takes to get home. And when you get home, you'll give your mom and dad a huge hug and tell them how grateful you are for them. You resubmerge and give it a while, staying wide awake this time. When you decide it's been long enough and peek your head out over the edge of the pit, the place is Freddy's again. Over the sounds of 80s music and the children still in the building at the late hour, you can hear rain pouring outside. Not right, you mutter in frustration before lowering yourself once more. Please, 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 you whisper at the bottom of the pit. Please take me home. But it's no use. Every time you come up, it's not at the right time. The place goes from Freddy's to Jeff's to abandoned and back again. But even when it's Jeff's, it's never Jeff's at your time. Oh, excuse me, I like hiccuped and burped at the same time. Pardon me. You feel like bursting into tears as you submerge yourself for what must be at least the 14th time. 14's in the chat. 14's in the chat. It's gotta be. The pit never seems to be quite the same size when you're in it. Whenever you're in it. Sometimes it's bottomless. Sometimes it has a bottom, but you can't find the sides. Sometimes it's more or less normal. Now it seems to have neither bottom nor sides. You've done this enough that you no longer panic when you can't find the edge. You just start making a swimming motion and moving little by little until you find something to pull yourself up on. But this time is different. You really feel like you can't breathe, and you can't find anything to grab onto. The balls slosh around like a sea. Or are they? Is this water? You can't breathe. You swim furiously to the surface and your vision starts to go red. You feel like your lungs can't take it anymore. You have to take a breath. You have to take a breath. You have to take a breath. But just as it really seems like you're going to drown, you're at the surface, spluttering and gasping for breath. Thank goodness your mom gave you swimming lessons. You tread desperately and try to spot the edge of the water. It's so dark it must be night, wherever you are. There seems to be a dock sticking out just a little in front of you, but it's hard to tell. You swim for it and feel your hand grab onto one of the metal poles holding up the dock. You look up trying to find a ladder. There is someone on the dock with a fishing pole casted into the water. They address you but don't look down at you. Their gaze is fixed over the water. Oh, man. I just did this voice for one of Narrow Raven's upcoming videos, so I'm going to do it here.
I'm sorry to say that you've gone too far down. There's no way home from here.
They spare half a glance down at you and extend a hand to pull you up onto the dock.
Come and fish with me for a while. There's nowhere else to go.
Game over. Damn, all my consequences. Hell yeah. That's so cool. That is crazy. Love that. Love, 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 love that. Thank you, Candi. Oh, I meant to take note of what bit we were at. Oh, geez, we've got a while to go back. Scroll down. Oh? Oh, we're drowning in the lake? No way. Don't give up, Oz. They need you. Think. If the lake was the way here, then it's the way out. Swim. 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 Drown? Is that OMC? Oh. You swim with all your might to the bottom of the lake, but without any air and totally exhausted, your vision once again begins to fade. You can no longer keep swimming, so you exhale all the remaining air in your lungs and feel yourself sink into the muck of the lake bed. In your last moments of consciousness, you feel your fingers clasp something hard and wonder, what's this? What? Restart from the beginning. Add bees. Bees Polaroid camera. Bonus item to your inventory. This is awesome. Bees? Am I dumb? Oh, Bronwyn, because it's her phone in the week before. Interesting. Oh, that was awesome. That's so cool. And this is really interesting because we've gotten the bonus item so quickly. I was not expecting to get the bonus item like mid-run, because in the other books you've had to like finish the book and then start it from the start. This is really interesting. Okay. So we're part 1 again. I guess let's just go from the top. What the hell? This is so cool. Man, Candi, bravo. That's so good. That's so good. Okay, choice. Tell Dad. Brush it off. That was so cool. I don't know if chat knew that from Gibby's video, or if you saw, like, when I was scrolling, maybe you caught it or something. That was really good. Okay, tell Dad. So we told Dad. We got our flashlight. And then we want to... Let's see. Ignore or answer. Yeah, we have the toy flashlight. There is a way to get the best ending if you go the exact optimal route. Oh my gosh. Okay, looks like we're gonna answer. Okay. And then I assume... call Jeff. Alright, let's see what people want to do now. I saw we were in water and I clocked it immediately. We were in OMC's like, so did I, but I didn't think to scroll down in the book. That's so good. Because I actually had an OMC Easter egg in my book, but that was way cooler. Mine did involve breaking the order of the book, but it didn't tie into the story, if that makes sense. Like, Candi did that so that you figure out intuitively to do that, whereas mine was just like an Easter egg if you were scrolling. But I love that much more. That's so good. That's so good that if it's ever in a FNAF book, I'll be suspicious. Not because there's not good stuff in FNAF books, but like, that's so good that it's kind of hard not to steal that. Okay, we're going to call Jeff this time. No matter how boring Jeff may seem, at least he moves and speaks. You walk over to the counter and half call, Jeff? Moments later, the greasy pizza man comes through a door and up to the counter. What's up, kid? I'm out of free slices. He grins. Sorry, I forgot his voice. What's up, kid? I'm out of free slices. He grins. Do you, you hesitate, have anything to do around here? He looks you up and down as if he's trying to evaluate something about you. After a moment, he nods his head to side and reaches under the counter to pull out a screwdriver. Any good with electronics and mechanics? No, you've never really been that handy. Then again, how hard could it be? You've been drawing mechanical creatures for the last couple of days. Yeah. How old is Oswald? Jeff's like, yeah, kid, you help me. Jeff takes you through the kitchen to the door he came through, which you had always supposed led to a supply closet or a walk-in fridge. Instead, it's a near empty room, almost the size of the kitchen, with 2 old arcade machines against the back wall. A thick layer of dust covers the old controls. A few handprints in the dust mark where Jeff seemed to have been fiddling with them. These old arcades were left behind when I bought the building, Jeff says. They were busted when I got them, but I always sort of wondered if I could get them working. You and Jeff unscrew the back panel of one of the machines and you have no idea what you're looking at, but at least you're small enough to climb a little ways inside to get a good look at the parts. It reminds you of a movie you just watched with your dad a few weeks ago about a guy who gets sucked into an arcade. If you could only talk to some programs and then ask them how to fix this thing. What movie is this? I don't get the reference. You make zero progress, but the time passes quickly, and you hardly hear your dad when he comes into the pizzeria. I've got to go, he said to Jeff, honestly a little bummed. I think we made real progress, kid, Jeff says, slapping his hands together to clear off the dust. This is the most non-specific accent ever. Yeah, you say. You definitely didn't. I like Jeff. He's so nice. He's a cool guy. I bet you he's going to turn out to be William or something. You burst through the door to the kitchen and your dad jumps in surprise. You look like a chimney sweep, he says. What on earth have you been doing? You grab your screwdriver you give your screwdriver a little twirl before setting it behind the counter. Building a time machine into a car, you grin. With style, you know it. The summer seems to fly by. At the library, you check out books on electrical repairs and arcades and look up anything you can about repairing vintage machines on the computers. Jeff lets you use the coins from the tip jar for printing out instructions. By the time school starts, you've gotten the racing game up and running. Jeff puts the old machine out on the floor and splits the proceeds with you 50-50. You've become quite the mechanical whiz, and your new nickname in 6th grade becomes Overdrive Oswald. Sure, Dylan still gave it to you snickering, and he's still a jerk, but honestly, it's kind of a sick name. Aw. Oh, Tron. Yeah, that makes sense. Aw, that's such a nice ending. That's so cute. Aw. There you go. This is a little cute little ending where we hang out with Jeff. Okay, so then we have to inspect the ball pit again. If we go back one choice. Do we want to leave this thing alone? Let's see. Leave the ball pit alone. Or... sorry, that's the second one. Leave the ball pit alone. Or reach around in the ball pit. So this is the one that brings us into Freddy's. So I think we had one more option left in Freddy's other than... Because we did the kitchen. We didn't do the exit. We didn't do the exit, or we didn't try and run to the ball pit when we were in the security office with the guard. So we have a few more options left in Freddy's if we want to go check that out. But let's see. Let's see what people pick. We did the kitchen. We saw Chica. Okay. Let's see what people think. 61%, 100%, 55%, 52%. Oh, 50%. We're split. Reach around the ball pit, 52%. All right, I also am on the side of checking out the ball pit. So let's go in. And then we're in here. We did the kitchen. We did the new doors. We did returning to the pit. So let's do the exit sign. The glowing red light of the exit sign beckons you. You tiptoe around tables and chairs, worried about drawing the attention of the bunny if he hears you. You know one way to tell for sure if this is Jeff's in the past or the future or a different dimension. You could go outside and check the street view. Below the exit sign is a glowing arch that leads to the exit. On the side facing the dining hall, it reads in glowing letters, "Come again soon." The side facing the doors says, "Welcome." The double doors have windows, but they're made out of that patterned glass that you can't really see through. If you want a better look, you'll have to go out. I think if we just go out, you push open the double doors and breathe in the chilly night air. Ah, okay. Is this a slightly different one? Yeah, it is. This parking lot certainly looks a lot like Jeff's, and that building across the street looks right. You whip around to look at the sign above the entrance. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza glows in big letters under a waving animatronic bear. Freddy Fazbear's, the name doesn't quite ring a bell. Maybe this is an alternate dimension after all. You start to consider until your eyes fall on a single Ford Pinto in the parking lot. Then the newly installed payphone next to you. Then the posters stapled to the side of the building advertising a circus for August 1984 and a cola for 45 cents. Interesting. So this time he spots a circus advertisement. Never mind. It's a shame you seem to have arrived in the middle of the night. Maybe if you had come during the day, you could have a fun for a few hours until it was time for your dad to come back. The pulpit was how you got here, so you figure you better not get far from it. You'd hate to get stuck in 1984, or would you? Your life hasn't exactly been a dream these last few years, and your dad is always going on about how great it was to be a kid in the 80s. You could leave it behind and stay. So let's go back into Freddy's. I think we have to wait for the place to open, right? I just want to see if there's any other options. Then we can... Did we try to run to our home already? I don't think we tried to run to our home. Let's run home. Oh! You've never walked to or from Jeb's because your dad always drives you, but it's barely 2 miles away. As soon as the phone dude is out of the restaurant, you take off running. You just want to see your mom and dad and your cat Jinx again. You are panting hard and you finally make it up the driveway and throw open the door. There, standing in front of you with a microwave hot dog in one hand, is Oswald. Oh, the universe end. The same Oswald can't occupy the same place at the same time. Cool. Universe end. That's so funny. There we go. So if anyone who doesn't get this reference, this is in FNAF World. If you play as Fredbear and talk to Fredbear, the game like bugs out and then says two Fredbears cannot exist in the same place, and you get the universe end trophy. And this is obviously a mushroom cloud. That's so funny. This bit below is not... It's not a continuation of this because these bit titles here are supposed to tell you like your progress, right? So I think that's a different thing we haven't done yet. So then what I would do, I don't want to spoil anything. Okay, so this is here. And just trying to see. Okay. You know what make the universe end? Making a kid making a good video is crazy. I am going to say, let's go back to Mike. I'm gonna search Ralph and hopefully not get a. Yeah. Okay. So this is back where we were with the guard. Oh wait, this is the make a break for it. This is the bit 25, that's abandoning our life. This is also bit 25, abandoning our life. Hey Ralph, it's me. Oh. Oh, wait. Yeah, so if you do as you're told or book it back to the pit. Let's book it back to the pit and see what happens. This is when we're with the security guard. You probably get kicked out if you stay. You're probably getting kicked out if he catches you, but he might not be able to catch you if you run. Oh, you take off down the hallway like a shot through the door and speed past the table and party hats in the main room. You don't hear any footsteps behind you, but it's hard to be sure because your heart is beating so loud. There's the ball pit. You dive first, head in. No, dive head first in. The pit had seemed infinitely large when you first entered it, but it is not so now. You bash your head on the hard bottom, and the last thing you ever hear is a loud crack. Thanks to you, Pink Eye isn't the only biohazard stewing in the depths of the abandoned ball pit at Jeff's, because your blood and brains are never fully mopped and cleaned off the floor of the structure. Oh my gosh, game over. That is a great ending. Wow. Brutal. Damn. Mongees, you got an ad. We went back to the ending where we were talking to the security guard, and so we chose to run back to the ball pit. And when we jumped in, expecting to time travel, the pit was just regular sized, and Oswald broke his skull on the bottom. Shatter Oswald. Jeez. Yeah, I can just hear the sound of Helpy smashing on the floor from FNAF 6. I wonder if that a reference. Interesting. Okay. That is crazy. All right, let's jump back. So I guess let's just go back to the top then, because I'm trying to think. I feel like this seems familiar because this kind of feels like what happened to me the first time I read the book. I got all these endings and I couldn't figure out what to do next. So we can brush off the thing with our dad because we haven't done that yet. Let's see what happens. No, it's fine, you say. How much longer to the library? The car hits a big pothole and you practically punch yourself in the face because of the jolt. Yeesh, this road could do with a good paving, Dad says. But no one will pave it. No one would waste the money or manpower on this dead town. You have a sort of bad feeling somewhere between your throat and chest, some emotion bubbling up that is rising to your eyes. You feel the only way to push it back down is to get out of the car and start moving. The car rolls up to the library and you put your hand to the handle before the car is entirely stopped. Whoa, 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 hold on. You don't want to go hungry all the way until my shift is over, do you? Your dad reaches into his pocket to pull out $3.50 for lunch money when you're at the library. Thanks, you say reflexively, and quickly turn and leave. Okay, so in that version we just don't get the Mecha Zentralix light, which we still haven't gotten an option for yet, which is really interesting. I guess now we ignore the call? There's no way that all happens because we answer the phone, right? There's no way. Bit 4. Okay. Let me just see. So we answer the phone. We inspect the ball pit. I guess we could leave it alone. Let's see if we search around. We get pulled in. We go to all these. We did all these. Let's do the new door. Return to the pit probably just brings us back. Approach the room. Yeah. Huh. I guess let's check out the... oh, I'm getting spoilers. Oh, no. Okay. Let's go germ... Oh, I'm just going to look up germ. Leave the germ fest alone. Okay. Did we have more options in the pit? There's so many options. Gibby, do you know, is there more options other than the OMC stuff that happened? Or the phone dude stuff? Second time we went in it. To come back. Once you enter the ball pit here, you can't win. All dead ends. Okay. Interesting. That's crazy. Because it's like the first thing... That's so many endings for like the first major choice you have to make. It's crazy. That's awesome. So again, obviously you guys can play through all these options yourself. I want to keep going until we maybe see the yellow rabbit for the first time, because we haven't even gotten to the main villain of the book. So this is avoiding the ball pit. There are many better ways to get 10 cents that don't involve risking your health and dignity, and you've no idea how to explain yourself to Jeff if he walked back in while you were fishing around in there. You head back to your chair and continue rigorously studying the ceiling stains. This is just sad. How is the competition for most exciting things to do in this town the public library or an empty pizza place? How is your competition for the most exciting thing to do right now put your face into a central ball pit or stare at the ceiling for an hour? You feel cheated out of your whole childhood in this one moment. You're supposed to be having fun over the summer. You should be at Ben's house playing Superior Smash Brothers. That's a little close. You know you should be kicking his butt right now while his little sister complains about how she can't keep Snurby on the platform, even though that's like the hardest character to fall off with. Kids should have fun, and you haven't had fun this whole summer, maybe even this whole year. 7 o'clock rolls around right on time, but your dad doesn't. 7:01, 7:02, 7:03, 7:04. It's the final straw. You can't take it anymore. It's like he's not thinking of how this affects you at all. But what can you do to get back at him? You can give him a real piece of your mind, but then you get mega grounded. What can you do that won't get you in trouble? Your eyes fall on the dingy ball pit once again, and a plan starts to form. Oh, so this is the like real version. This is the like proper time to go in the ball pit. Good night, Ben 10 Screams. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have a sleep tight and a sweet dreams and all those good things. Thank you for joining us. Everyone give a good night to Ben 10 Screams. Good night, Ben 10 Screams. Okay. All right, everybody. Let's see. Hide. Wait. In the dining. Thank you, everyone, for the Ben 10 screams. Good night. So many Ben 10 screams. All right, hide 53, 47, hide 55, 46. So many good nights. Thank you, everybody. I like my own stream while I'm at it. Gotta be hide. It's gotta be hide. Any moment now, Dad will be texting you, expecting you to come outside to the car. Well, today is going to be different. Dad's going to have to come inside and get you. There's one perfect place to hide. You are going into the pit. Oh, he said it. You're not going to have to be dropped off and picked up like someone's dry cleaning. He's going to have to make an effort to find you, and you're not going to make it easy for him. You look toward the kitchen. Jeff has been in and out over the last hour, but it seems like he's once again in the back. You hastily shove all your things into your drawstring bag, put it on your back, and slink into the pit. The balls part to make room for your body as you move your arms and legs. It feels a little like swimming. The balls are dusty, and some of them even feel a little bit sticky. You try not to think of it. If you're going to trick your dad, you're going to have to go all the way under. You take a deep breath, although you should be able to breathe in there, right? Curl up in a ball and let yourself sink down. It's dark and claustrophobic. Maybe you should have waited to go in until your dad texted you. Think about all the stuff that we did. Think about all the endings we got. And all that separated it was like 5 minutes. Right? Like 5 minutes of or I guess it was, maybe a few hours in universe time. But like one choice away got us here. It's really cool. I love that we had so much more to do. And we have our bonus item now, which is really interesting. Very interesting. Become a ball to become one with the ball. Exactly. Pink eye, you hear your mother's voice saying, "You're going to get pink eye." The smell is really getting to you. The dust tickles your nose and you can feel a sneeze coming on. And if you sneeze when your dad comes in, it'll give away your location. You need to come up for air. You feel for the bottom of the pit, but your feet flail out into more plastic balls. No matter, you reach your hand up and grab the rim of the pit and pull yourself up. As you rise, your ears are assaulted by the sounds of beeping electronics and yelling and laughing kids. It takes a few moments for your eyes to adjust from the darkness to the vivid lights and colors that surround you. You look around in shock and mumble, "Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore." Toto reference. Bit 14! Bit 14! Surely this is important that it's bit 14. You've been teleported. You've been transported. You've been izakaya'd into a weird fantasy disco world where everyone's hair is huge and they must wear neon colors that the government will hunt them down and... Wait, no. Is this the layout of Jeff's? There's the painted over mural, only here it's not painted over. 3 animatronic animals like the ones you've been drawing are posed like they're rocking out. And there's the stage. Across the room, the animatronics themselves are performing a song, surrounded by dozens of shouting kids. You step out of the ball pit just in time as some feral child dives face first into the spot you were... No, careful, child. We know what happens when you dive face first into this ball pit. And sends balls flying. Your eyes dart from the kid to the shiny arcades to the neon sign reading Freddy Fazbear's Pizza back to the animatronics. Yeah, those things are creepy, you say aloud to yourself. Huh, tell me about it. A kid leaning on the wall next to the pit chuckles. He's about your age, wearing a light yellow polo with the collar turned up and dad jeans. Isn't it weird how the things we like as kids get creepy when we get older? Haha, yeah, you chuckle nervously. Hey, haven't seen you around here before, the kid says. I don't know what voice I'm doing for this guy. Yeah, you scramble for an excuse. I'm just here for the summer visiting my grandma. This place is cool, though. I like all these retro video games. Retro? The kid says with gumption. You're joking, right? Freddy's always has the newest games, and some of them are exclusive. That's why the lines are always so long. Yeah, not retro like old, but retro like... Think of a word. Retrofitted. Like augmented with cool parts. These games are new? But you've heard your dad talking about playing half of these. When are you? Huh, yeah, tubular, the kid says. I'm Chip, by the way. Me and my buddy Mike. He nods at a tall black kid wearing huge eyeglasses and a shirt with red and blue stripes. We're going to play some skee ball. Want to come with? Honestly, playing games with some kids your age sounds amazing right now. But you're not really supposed to be here, are you? Should you be trying to find your way back home, if you even can? Then again, you haven't been here near long enough for your dad to have come looking. If you play skee ball with Chip and Mike, tap touch here. If you find your way home, tap touch here. Okay. You shouldn't be here. Choice. Skee ball. Home time. Oh, Carlos, 20 memberships is crazy. W. Carlos, holy moly, thank you so much. Water break, stealing that. Wow, and none for Gibby. Never any for Gibby. That's amazing. Theodore Barton just got here. What have I missed? A lot, but also we've only just started the like classic Into the Pit story. Like we've just gone back in time and met Chip and Mike for the first time, but there was a whole bunch of stuff that you missed out for the first 2 hours of this reading. But welcome, you are very welcome here. So who's winning? Skee ball. Let's go. Skee ball sounds tubular, you say with a grin. What do I make Mike's voice sound like? I don't know how to do kids' voices. I'll just give him like a real gruff, you got a name. Now I feel like how I feel when I watch Gibby's videos and he does an Irish accent. He does like the weirdest combination of like English and Scottish, or I don't know what he does, but it's I guess this is my version. This is payback on Gibby, where he talks like this for some reason. When he's trying to do an impression of me, it's so funny. Bart Simpson voice, please. Do not have a cow, father. You got a name? That's not him. Okay, Mike asks. Oh, sure, I'm Oswald. All right, Oz, Mike says. Anybody ever call you that? Like now he sounds like John Mulaney. Anybody ever call you that? Like the Wizard of Oz? They do now, you say with a grin. The only nickname you ever had has been Oswald the Ocelot from that jerk Dylan. Feels good to get a nickname that isn't meant to tear you down. The Universe book for £20. Thank you very much. Hey man, love your videos. Thank you. Making my own FNAF video myself, talking about everything I love about the series. Would love to have you on for an interview or chat. Let me know. If you're down, DM me on Discord. If I assume your name is the same as your username, I have a lot going on at the minute, but I do wish you the best in your videos. And you know what? Once you make your video, I'll have a look. Just at me in my comments or whatever, and you can post on my community page as well, and I check that a lot. So yeah, best of luck. And you know, I'm not saying like no to an interview, I'm just saying I don't really have the opportunity right now, but best of luck with your videos, and I hope it goes well. And it's good to make something positive as well, something positive about the series, because we harp on it a lot. But thank you very much. That is a massive donation. Candy Bunny's in chat. Came right in as the American accents. Hell yeah. Perfect. All right. All right. Candy, we love the book, by the way. It's so good. We got our Polaroid camera bonus item by doing the Old Man Consequences thing. So good. It's amazing. It's amazing that we had so much. We went through all the options, I think, in Freddy's in like the 90s, and the phone dude part was amazing. Loved it. Anyway, let's see here. Well, I gotta warn you, Oz. I can't do Bart Simpson. There's no way in 100 years I'm gonna do Bart Simpson. I you know what? I'll just keep it whatever this thing is that I'm doing, but I'm gonna drop the pretense that it's a Bart Simpson impression. Well, I gotta warn you, Oz, I'm a beast at skee ball, but I'll go easy on it for first round. As you walk past the tables filled with pizza toward the arcade, you notice someone in a yellow rabbit suit standing in the corner. It looks like a yellow version of the blue bunny character on stage, but strangely, not one kid seems to care. But maybe all the kids who care about the characters are over at the stage where the performance is happening. Mike wasn't joking. He was good at skee-ball, but you find you're not so bad yourself, considering you've never played before. At the end of 4 rounds, you started to give him a run for his money and beat him on the 5th. The 5th, you say? Hey, let's exchange these tickets, Mike says. Chip, you can have half my tickets since we played skee-ball today. I feel like I'm that kid in Bob's Burgers. I'm not going to remember his name. There's one of those kids. Yeah, Oz, if we played anything else, Mike could be the one with no tickets. Chip grins. You only won once, so there's only one prize you can afford. Add a sticky hand to your inventory. Let's go. These things were peak childhood toys. Sticky hand. Got it. You look around for a clock, afraid to whip out your cell phone. You should be heading home, but how long have you been here? You wanted to give your dad a scare, but you don't want him calling the police. Hey guys, I better run. My grandma's supposed to pick me up in a few minutes, you lie. Don't worry, man. Don't be a stranger, okay? Chip says with a friendly smile. It feels like he really means it. Aw. All right. You give a wave. Definitely not. How to get out of here? You could try walking out the front door, but where would that take you? Can you exit past that? Can you exit the pass that way? Well, maybe the way out is the same way in, through the ball pit. You glance around to make sure Chip and Mike aren't watching you, but they're deep into a round of skee-ball. You step into the ball pit feeling a little sheepish about being the oldest kid by at least 5 years. You take a deep breath and sink beneath the sea of plastic. How long to stay under? Randomly, you decide to count to 100, then stand. If you guys missed it, I counted pretty much to 100 earlier in the stream, just to show off how long of a time that is. I think I got to like 79, and then I forgot how to count, so... Confirmed Withered Truth on Withered Truth. I don't even know my own name. On Withered Truth. Can only count to about 79 and doesn't know his own name. You rise to your feet and find yourself standing in the dusty, roped-off ball pit at Jeff's Pizza. Your dad is not in the building yet. Geez, he's really late, is your first thought. But immediately after thinking that, you wonder if he came out and left already and is at the police station giving your description. You check your phone. 7:05. What? No time has passed? Well, if any time had passed, it was only like 30 seconds. Jeff is still nowhere to be seen, so you go and sit back down at your seat. Forget the plan to inconvenience your dad, you've got a lot to think about. It feels like only a few seconds pass before your dad texts you and you head out to the car. Thank goodness time didn't pass in the ball pit because your dad picked up KFC on the way. So McDonald's and KFC are canon, but we got Superior Smash Bros. And and Charlie and the what was it, the Magic Wicks chocolate factory or something? I can't remember. You would have felt terrible if you made him worry when you'd meant to apologize all along. When your mom gets home from her shift at the hospital in time for family movie night, you and your dad are hyped up on caffeine, but the evidence of your greasy takeout secret has been thrown into the outside trash can. Oswald, would you not stand on the couch, please? She means it, but she's also smiling to see you looking so happy. You leap down and strike a superhero pose. Sorry. It's such a kid... such a funny, kid line. I like that Candi's infused Oswald with being, 13. So, what's the movie tonight, you two? She asks, setting down her purse. You look at your dad. Zendrillix versus Mecha Zendrillix, you say in unison. Someone's in a good mood today. Quite a contrast from yesterday when you were Mr. Grumpy Pants. Honestly, she could be talking about either you or your dad. She's probably talking about you. Yeah, they're getting my book into the library tomorrow. What are you supposed to say? I found a time-traveling ball pit at Jeff's Pizza. That would be a one-way ticket to weekly sessions with a child psychologist. The next morning, you're back in the car with your dad. PT Punch, he calls out at the White House, giving you a light tap. At the White House? Wow, nice. Freddy's in here in the White House. Cannon. I know, it's a White House. I'm just joking. I'm just joking, guys. Just a little bit of a joke. Sorry, guys. Joke alert. I was distracted, you groan. It's true. You're thinking about Freddy's. Hey, Dad, do you remember back when the building that was Jeff's was some kind of arcade? The smile vanishes from your dad's face and he gets all cold. Yeah, it was. Why? Oh, I just heard something about it being an arcade in the 80s. You were my age around then, right? Yeah, he says coldly. What's with him? You were just getting along so well last night. Did you ever go? I don't remember. It's closed. It closed. Well, like everything else in this town, you say with a sigh. Yeah. Is he upset with you? Or is it something about Freddy's that making him weird? You'd planned to go back into the pit to see if you could replicate the experiment, but you're not sure you should now. I wonder if this book is going to rectify something that I've had a problem with every single version of Into the Pit, which is the dad. They always make a point of saying that he was around Oswald's age in the 80s. And I know it's probably just to explain that he knows what Freddy's was. But I think it's crazy, especially with all like the Back to the Future references and all these versions, that there's no moment where we can ever possibly run into Oswald's dad as a kid. I always just find it very interesting that that's not a time travel trope that we play with at all in these stories. But we'll see if Candi thought to maybe do that. Not that it's like a make or break. All right, avoid the pit from now on, or return to the pit. I believe this is an ending from what I can remember. So I'm just going to check it out because I think it will end the game. Yes. You pull up in front of the library and open the door to get out. Hey, do you think you could pick me up from the library today? I think I'll walk back here after Jeff's since it's a nicer place to hang out. Sure, your dad says, handing you your pizza money. When you get a chance to use the computers at the library, you decide to research Freddy's and figure out why it was closed. It takes a little digging. Most of the top results for Freddy's are about some reopenings and blogs and reviews that all look suspiciously similar, talking about how much they loved Freddy's back in the day. But on the third page of search results, you start to find articles about a series of serial killings that happened back in the 80s at this very Freddy's. You shiver. It could have been you. You can't seem to find the names of the victims, but you hope Chip and Mike made it out okay. One thing's for sure, you dodged a bullet, like when he gets shot in the real book. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. I like this line. Top results for Freddy's are about some reopenings and blogs and reviews that all look suspiciously similar, talking about how much they love Freddy's back in the day. That's really cool because that, to me, is heavily implying that Fazbear is actively, like, search retention maxing, algo maxing to make sure that all the stuff about the serial killings is not on the front page, which is a really cool detail about them, like, covering up the bad stuff that happened. I really like that. So the only reason I didn't ask you guys if you want to do that is because I didn't want to miss it here and then have problem getting it back to it later. So if we return to the pit, hello, Crumbly Reacts. I'm doing well. How about you? Let me see. Dad must be in a bad mood again. It's pretty common ever since the mill closed down. You wish he still had his old job and you still had your old life. But maybe if you can replicate what happened yesterday, this new life won't be so bad. Jeff's doesn't open until 11. You have some time to kill at the library, but you can't focus on your manga or your drawing the whole time. You can't wait to get back and see if Freddy's is still there. When you get there, you slip into the pulpit the first moment Jeff looks away. Oh no. Excuse me, I got a hiccup. You count to 100 and pop up back at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. You smile. It's going to be a really good summer. Hanging out with Chip and Mike turns into a regular thing. You play games, drink soda, talk about old movies, well, new movies for Chip and Mike, and eat pizza. You do your best to look up what media and tech did and didn't exist in 1985 so you never slip up in conversation. Sometimes you even think you must be having more fun than Ben at Myrtle Beach. But there comes a day when it's the last day of summer. As you walk to Jeff's, you think sadly of how to break the news to Chip and Mike that it's your last day. As soon as Jeff is out of the kitchen, you do your little ritual of going under and counting to 100. You wonder if counting that long is really necessary, but every time you think of coming out earlier, you chicken out, wondering if it will bring you to the wrong time. But when you emerge from the ball pit, everything is chaos, even for a children's entertainment venue. People are running, screaming at each other's names, crying and yelling for help. You stand frozen, watching a crowd of people try to force their way to the exit, pushing and shoving each other. What is going on? You step out of the pit in a daze. Chip? Mike? You call out. The shock gives way to terror. Something horrible is happening here. But you're safe, right? You can't be in real danger. You're in the past. You can't die in a time you don't even exist, right? You're afraid, but you feel you must know what's going on. This is logic from the original version that has carried into other versions. It's the worst logic. You can't die at a time before you were born. Terrible logic. I'm glad that Candi brought it in because it's a continuation of all the versions, but it's just so funny. You start to push forward, bumping into panicked parents screaming their children's name. They don't notice you at all. Chip? Mike? Maybe they didn't come today. Maybe they're safe. In front of you, you see the man in the yellow rabbit costume. The only person, if it even is a person, standing still in the sea of moving people. Even the animatronic band on stage is moving, dancing and playing some 80s jam that is drowned out by the screams. The yellow rabbit turns its head to look at you so slowly it hardly seems to move. Then it lifts its hands and it lifts its hand. Okay. Water break. Then it lifts its hand and makes a beckoning motion for you to follow it, and turns to walk through an open door with a sign above that reads, Private. Are we following? Are we running? What are we doing? Say he pocketed it. He pocketed it, UG. Choice. Follow. Don't follow. Follow the yellow rabbit worked for them kids. Alright, I'll copy in this page just in case we need to come back. Alright, follow him. Your gaze is fixed on the dark doorway, but you can't see in without following. What does it want? What does it mean? Neither questions nor answers matter. All that matters is following the rabbit like some dark, twisted version of Alice in Wonderland. Not like Gina in Wonderland or Gina in Fantasy World. Alice in Wonderland? Alright. At the end of the hallway, the rabbit is once again stopped, waiting for you, under a door with a sign reading, Party Room. Yes, Candi fixed it. It's canon. I don't think the MCI was something that people were running around and screaming in, but this is also in a ball pit, so... this is a thing that's also in the real version of Return to the Pit, or the official version, I'm going to call it. This is the real version. The official version is not. It holds out its hand, and you reach out to take it. Your hand is trembling. You barely have a moment once you're inside the room to get a glimpse of several children lying on the floor, each one with an animatronic head over their face. Interesting. Oh. Are they dead? You don't have a moment to figure out as the rabbit suddenly yanks your arm and starts to force you toward them. It wants you to join them. You are more than sure of that. You are more sure of that than you are sure that your name is Cassidy. Okay. This is the bit that I got to in Gibby's video where I reached this part and I went, I want to read this myself. Hey, the Universe Books, thank you very much for another £10. That is crazy. Me again, thanks for the kind words. I'm planning to talk about your channel in the vid anyways, as one of your favorite FNAF community channels. Aw, also the trailer is out for it is out now. Thank you very much. I will check that out. Let me see. And everyone else, check out, you know, the Universe Books. Let's do it. Oh, we have the bonus item. What? Oh, yo. Okay. Hang on. Okay. So. Okay. This is very exciting because we have the bonus item. We need to try all three, right? Okay, so I'm gonna do Troy. I have a feeling bonus item's gonna be an ending, right? Surely. Okay. Punch. Vote. Yeah, the bonus item is just too exciting. I like it. The second option is punch. Something tells me punch wouldn't end too well. I'm just gonna take note of page. Actually, I had some of this for notes as well, right? So I'm just gonna say page 51. And now I'm gonna just mark down page 54 because these are choices that we haven't yet made. Yes, we did get the bonus item right away, Candi, because people in chat figured out that that we had to scroll down, but I'm very excited. Okay, we're doing it, guys. We're going to get the bonus. We're going to get the bonus. We will do all three, but let's get the bonus first. Ooh. Oh! You frantically search all your pockets and your drawstring bag for anything that can help you. Your hand comes on something rectangular and hard in your bag. What could this be? You whip out a Polaroid camera. This isn't yours. Have you somehow switched bags with someone since leaving home this morning? You point the camera right at the yellow thing. Say cheese! The flash of the Polaroid goes off and sends the rabbit into an uproar. It lets go of you and shields its eye from the light. This is your chance. You can make a break for it out of the room, down the hall, out the door labeled private, through the main party area, past the animatronics performing uncannily for a panic mob, and into the pit. As you begin to count to 100... Oh, sorry. That is, you make a break for it. You make a break for it. As you begin your count to 100, you hear a weird whirring noise. What is that? The Polaroid camera in your hand begins to spit out a photo. By the time your count to 100 is done, the photo is developed. A Polaroid of Cassidy is in our inventory. Okay. Wait. No, wait. Do we think that we have to get a Polaroid of all the kids? Oh my god. No. It just keeps going. Oh, I bet you we're doing like a shatter victim or something. I thought that was going to be the end of the book. Oh, this is so fun. As you emerge from the pit, the first thing you hear is Jeff's voice. What was my voice for him? Hey, there's the little stinker. You turn to see your dad stomping towards you and Jeff watching from behind the counter. Your dad grabs your arm and pulls you out of the pit. What were you doing hiding in that nasty old thing? He says. Didn't you hear me calling you? He leans over the pit and continues. Look how dirty this is. Your mother... A pair of yellow arms reaches out of the pit and pulls your dad under. Dad! You call out in despair, grasping the edges of the pit. The balls in the pit roil like a stormy sea for what feels like an eternity before settling. In a few moments, it is not your dad, but the yellow rabbit that rises from the pit. It adjusts its purple bow tie, brushes itself off, and turns towards you with a huge sadistic grin. You try to back away, but the rabbit places both its hands on your shoulders and begins to march you toward the exit. You look pleadingly at Jeff, but Jeff looks as unbothered as ever. See you guys later. Oh, no. See you guys later. Oh, he's got a monotone way? Oh, no. I've been giving him so much life. See you guys later, he says in his monotone. Oh, now he sounds depressed. See you guys later, he says in his monotone way, despite looking right at you both. Has Jeff been blind this whole time and you're only now finding out? The yellow thing marches you straight to the car and pushes you in, then marches to the driver's side and gets in itself. What have you done with my dad? Where are you taking me? You ask in a panic. The rabbit doesn't respond. It doesn't even look at you. It just begins to drive. You try the doors, but the thing has activated the power lock from the driver's side. Whatever this rabbit is, it's clever, and it knows your route home? The yellow thing takes every turn correctly, stopping at the light and all the stop signs, even using its blinker, and turns right into your driveway. As soon as it unlocks the door, you could try to make a break for it. You outran it in 1985 when you had the jump on it. Maybe you can get to the neighbors, call the police. But what if it catches you? Maybe you should bide your time a little longer. Okay. I'm going to probably be wrapping up soon, by the way, chat, because I am getting tired, but I absolutely want to come back and finish this. This is so fun. Make a break for it. Bide your time. I wonder if this is that like weird Chica neighbor option thing from the original book. Yeah, so something I was wondering about the thing earlier with Cassidy, because obviously we now have the photo of the purple guy with Cassidy, but I'm wondering because when Oswald goes into the room, it says, "You're sure as that as you are your name that your name is Cassidy, right?" So the idea seems to be that we have been like, we've taken the place of Cassidy in that room, and I wonder if that's the implication of the entire, like, ball pit experience, is that we're playing as Cassidy in the ball pit the whole time. Like when Chip and Mike are talking to somebody, do they think they're talking to Cassidy? I don't know, because we haven't actually explained if Cassidy is boy or girl. Okay, these are saying bide your time 55%. Interesting. The town has face blindness. Oswald is insensitive. Alright, let's bide our time. Oh, we got a new item. Something tells you can't get away with the same trick twice, and that the rabbit would definitely catch you this time. You slowly unbuckle your seatbelt and gently open the door. No sudden movements, you think. It's not attacking you now, but you don't know what will set it off. You approach the front door to your house, and the rabbit stalks right behind you. There's nothing to do but go in. As soon as you open the door and step inside, the rabbit parks itself in front of the door, blocking your way out. Jinx the cat had been lying in the living room, but as soon as the yellow thing enters, she arches her back and hisses in fear. Shh, girl, you say, eyeing something shiny lying next to her. You bend over and in one quick scoop grab both her and the screwdriver. You quickly shove it into your pocket. The yellow thing doesn't seem to notice. Its dead eyes stare off straight ahead. Add screwdriver to your inventory. Okay, we've got quite the inventory building up. I like this. The yellow thing will certainly stop you if you try to run. Your mind races wildly to try and understand it all. I'm just going to my room now, okay? I'm not trying to escape, just going to my room. Nice. Okay. Part 2, the yellow thing. Oh, okay, well this seems like a good part to stop at, right? We've gotten to part 2 of the book. We've been streaming for how long? For 2 hours? Nearly 2.5 hours? And we're now at part 2. That was so fun. That was really, really fun. I had a great time. You guys let me know if you would be interested in seeing more of this. I had a great time. I had a really, really good time. Candi, thank you so much for letting me read this. Make sure you guys check out Gibby's video as well. He also did a whole reaction to this. His video is about 5 hours long, going through all the endings, going through every page. You can obviously read it through yourself if you go to Candi's community tab on her channel, and then you can find the links there to a Google Drive. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about this. This is so fun. I really, really do love this. I think this is kind of like ridiculous how see, I don't want to be mean about Return to the Pit, because I didn't hate it. I thought it was definitely, I didn't even read Escape to the Pizzaplex, but I thought it was a big downgrade in terms of the week before was so strong, and then Return to the Pit really felt like there was so much potential for that concept. And this book is like recognizing that and doing a lot with that. You know, and I have to say, like, you know, when I did a week prior, when I was writing that was just more so me doing my own, you know, interactive novel set in the Reboot universe and just running with the format and kind of doing a little play on the title of a week before or the week before. But this is like, this is closer to what a reboot of the interactive novel should look like, right? Like, because this is actually taking the base concept from an official release and just improving on it so much. Because I'm so invested. I know I found that the Polaroid probably a bit earlier than Candi was expecting, but I kind of like that. I kind of like that that's a thing I can do. I love that we can go and meet Phone Dude. I love that we had the universe end. We had going to Freddy's in 84, so before the MCI, and seeing the robots acting up before then, and we hear Ralph on the phone. So many good little just like moments, and they're not substanceless. They don't lack substance. They are substantive. They are really, you know, it's not just jangling keys, you know, at least it doesn't feel like it. I'm getting excited as I go through it, and I want to see where all of this is going. I want to see what the Polaroid is about. I want to know how this is going to... I want to know the rules of this ball pit, because I feel like Candi is thinking about it. There seems to be certain rules that apply. Obviously, it's a bit loose, but I'm curious if we're going to get more into how the pit works and how it ties into everything else. I love that it connects to Ultimate Consequences. Like, so awesome. This is really fun. And the humor is really good as well. It's really, really good. Yeah, watch Gibby's video so next time you can steer me to get the best ending, is what Gibby said. Absolutely do that. Gibby's video is in the description, as is Candy Bunny's community channel. But yeah, I've had a blast. Thank you everyone for coming along. I hope we had a good time. I hope everyone here is going to have a nice rest of their evening or night or whatever time it is for you. But yeah, I think that will probably do it for me. So I will say thank you again to Candy Bunny, thank you to Gibby, thank you to everyone for joining, and have a lovely night, guys. Good night, everybody, and thank you for all the donations and super chats. Good night.